What's the first thing you think of when you think of New Jersey? Was it this, or this, or was it this? If it was any of these things, you're in for a surprise with what New Jersey actually has to offer, which I'm going to cover all in this video. Let's do it! My name's Kevin and this is Living in Jersey, and I make these videos so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when making the move to the Garden State. I am also a realtor and I would love to be a real estate choice when making the move to New Jersey, so feel free to call, text, or email me at any time. Now, I'm super excited to bring you this video because it's the first part of my New Jersey Explained series, where I'm going to be taking a very macro approach to explaining what New Jersey has to offer. For example, in today's video, I'm really covering the entire state. We're going to go over the different sections of New Jersey and how it's kind of broken up, what jobs you can find, what things there are to do in each section, the schools, how much it's going to cost you. So that's what we're covering in today's video, but make sure that you subscribe for the rest of this series if you want to learn a little bit more in-depth and more micro knowledge and more local knowledge as I go on. So right now I'm doing the whole state. Next I'm going to do just North Jersey focus, then Central Jersey, South Jersey, Jersey Shore, and then continue to go more micro and local as we go on. So feel free to subscribe to come along for the ride. But I'm actually standing in the parking lot at Jockey Hollow Park in Morristown, New Jersey, which is in North Jersey. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite secret spots on the trail, and it's going to make sense why I'm taking you there in just a bit. So let's go. All right, so just to give you a brief overview of New Jersey, it's the most densely populated state in the entire country, and it really has it all. It's got farms, hiking up to the north where we're at right now, like at Jockey Hollow Park. There's skiing up north as well, up in Vernon, New Jersey. Then there's wineries and breweries and access to multiple large cities like New York City and Philadelphia. You've got transit options in a lot of sections of New Jersey to make it super easy for your commuting. So it really has it all. It's also deemed the Garden State, which you've probably heard me refer to as before, and it has a long history of being called the Garden State because of its vast amount of farmland that provided food to New York City and to Philadelphia. I think it's also important to talk about climate. We're really in the middle of November recording this video right now. It's about 60 degrees, beautiful sunny day. Does global warming have something to do with it? Maybe, maybe not sure. I'm definitely enjoying it right now. But on average, New Jersey gets about 40 to 50 inches of rain a year with about 120 days of rain. Just for some comparison, in Seattle, where it's, you know, historically very rainy, they have about 150 days of rain and about 35 inches of rain total. So there's actually more rain in New Jersey than there is in Seattle. And I actually have been noticing that in recent years, that it tends that when it rains, like it almost rains for like 3 days straight sometimes, and it's like monsooning. So definitely rains a lot, but obviously on a day like today, it's easy to forget those rainy days. As far as the snow goes, last year there was almost no snow in New Jersey. The year before, we were like bombarded. So it really, depending on where you live in New Jersey, South Jersey on average gets about 10 to 15 inches of snow. Central Jersey and kind of that Jersey Shore area is going to be about 15 to 30 inches of snow. And then that North Jersey section, which is where I'm standing at right now, gets anywhere from about 40 to 50 inches. Again, like last year, we barely got any snow. But the year before, it felt like every other weekend I was out shoveling snow from the driveway. So just some things to keep in mind depending on where you're coming from and what might be important to you. New Jersey also has a lot of rich history throughout it. And I actually chose this filming location today at Jockey Hollow Park in Morristown, New Jersey, because of its tie to the Revolutionary War. And actually George Washington and his troops stayed a winter here at Jockey Hollow. So just kind of a cool little tidbit. There's little historic landmarks throughout this park here. And it was also one of the original 13 colonies. So it's one of the OG members of the United States. We're about halfway to my favorite spot on the trail. And when we get there, we're gonna be talking commuting, jobs, and then the different sections of New Jersey and kind of what you can find in each section. Let's go. Alright, so I finally made it to my favorite spot in Jockey Hollow Park in Morristown, New Jersey. And it's my favorite spot because I'm sitting here on this bench and I can look out into this field here, which you're probably looking at right now. And it's not the clearest of days today, but on a very clear day, you can actually see New York City skyline. So we're about 27 miles away from New York City, but we've got this like vast wilderness and this great escape that we're sitting in right now. So as far as the commuting goes, obviously if you're in North Jersey, you're gonna possibly want a New York City commute. There is the New Jersey Turnpike that runs kind of like from southwest to northeast, like going all the way to New York City. It's really an extension of I-95. Then you've got the Garden State Parkway, which runs along the Jersey Shore. It hits a lot of those Jersey Shore points, as they call them here. So those are the two kind of major highways. I'm actually looking kind of right at Route 287. I can hear some highway traffic, but there's like major highways that are kind of all kind of filtering into New Jersey. So it's definitely easy to commute in this area. Take a look at the map that's gonna pop up on your screen here. This is the rail map. So as you can see, the NJ Transit rail system has a big presence in this northeast New Jersey area. It does go out to more northwest New Jersey, and then also to those shore points down the Jersey Shore. And then there's a few options down in South Jersey as well. But for the most part, the further away you get from those rail lines, it's kind of like the less things there are. There's like more forests and more farmlands the further away you get from those train lines, just as a rule of thumb. And then a little bit later, I'll show you a map of kind of the median home sale prices that also kind of coordinate with where those train lines are. Some of the reasons that a lot of my clients are moving to New Jersey is number one, to move closer to family, and then number two is because of jobs. And most recently, I had some clients who moved here from Idaho for a job. It's an interesting kind of profession. He's a music therapist, and he wanted to be closer to New York City to be able to record some of his music. So he moved his family all the way across the country. They had 8 kids, 5 are still in the house, so big family, and they were looking at a price range of about like $525,000, which honestly doesn't get you a whole lot in New Jersey, especially North Jersey, closer to that New York City area, just because the cost of living is more. So that's definitely something to consider when making the move to New Jersey is, all right, how much, is my house worth in the current place that I'm in? And then if I sell it, how am I going to be able to go to New Jersey and have a similar kind of lifestyle transition? So that's something that I could definitely help you with, and the further along this video you watch, you're gonna get a better feel for what areas might be the best fit for your budget. Now, as far as industry goes, there are really like 3 main industries in New Jersey, one of them being pharmaceutical. So big pharmaceutical industry in New Jersey. You've got Novartis, Bayer, Merck, Johnson & Johnson. Those are huge corporations that have headquarters here in the state of New Jersey. There's also a large manufacturing presence. You've got a port in Newark. You've got Philadelphia, New York City, like those highways that I mentioned, Route 80, Route 287, New Jersey Turnpike, Garden State Parkway. There's logistically, it's a great location for manufacturing and for logistics and transportation. So Amazon has a warehouse in New Jersey. Some major food suppliers have warehouses in New Jersey. Not to list them all, but it's a big place for manufacturing and logistics. Now I'll break down the different sections of New Jersey. And there's a lot of debate over what sections are what are they called, but take a look at this map, and this is what I'm going to be referencing throughout this video, because it makes the most sense to me, and I think it's simplest way to look at it from an outsider coming into New Jersey. So I'm gonna start with North Jersey, which is where I'm sitting right now. It's got some hilly terrain. Obviously the appeal is its proximity to New York City. So you've got plenty of train lines to get you there, plenty of highways to get you there. You've got urban environments. You've got more suburban environments. There's plenty to choose from in North Jersey. You've got the New York Jets, New York Giants up here in North Jersey for entertainment. You can easily take a train to the city to see a Yankee game or go to Madison Square Garden. The train line literally brings you pretty much like right to Madison Square Garden at New York Penn Station. Then, like I'm doing right now, plenty of hiking options. And in this northwest section of New Jersey, the Appalachian Trail runs through this section of the state. So lots of hiking options. Next, let's talk about Central Jersey. Now, Central Jersey is home to both Rutgers University and Princeton University. Rutgers being in the top 10% nationally for universities, and that's where I went. I'm a Rutgers grad. I worked for the football team while I was there, so their team is near and dear to my heart. Then Princeton University, obviously it's Ivy League, and A really fun sporting event if you're into sports like me. Princeton ice hockey, a blast. When I went a couple years ago with my family, I got a kick out of the fact that every time they scored a goal, they played Magic Stick by 50 Cent. So it brought me back to my youth when that song was popular. Central Jersey is also kind of uniquely situated. It's right in the middle or in between New York City and Philadelphia, so you have access to two major job markets and entertainment hubs in Central Jersey. As far as kind of recreation goes, you do have some hiking options. Natterar is one of my favorites in Central Jersey. There's also the D&R Canal towpath. That's another great kind of flat option. So there's biking, kayaking, plenty of outdoor things to do in Central Jersey. It's also home to plenty of breweries and wineries if you're into that kind of scene as well. Next, let's talk South Jersey. Now, South Jersey's main attraction is obviously its proximity to Philadelphia, so there's a lot of Eagles fans down there. You got North Jersey with those New York Giants, New York Jets, New York sports team fans. Central Jersey's kind of a mix. And again, another kind of interesting tidbit is there's a very popular sandwich in New Jersey called Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, or pork roll, egg, and cheese, depending on which section of New Jersey you live in. And it's up for a lot of debate on how you should call the sandwich or what you should call the sandwich. And just like the other sports teams kind of differ and kind of centralized in Central Jersey, same thing goes with Taylor ham or pork roll. Last but not least, we've got the Jersey Shore. And obviously its unique feature is that it's got plenty of beaches. It's a major vacationing hub for people from New Jersey and the surrounding areas. So a lot of New York City people come to the Jersey Shore to vacation, Pennsylvania. So again, it's a legitimate vacationing place. We go there with my family every single year. Last year we went down to Long Beach Island. Beautiful beach, clean, not too crowded, a lot of fun. Would highly recommend it. There's also a big fishing industry, and you've got boardwalks. There's different beaches along the Jersey coastline. You kind of get a different flavor in each section. One of my favorites is Asbury Park. They've got a boardwalk, some great restaurants. One of my favorite memories is we went to a Morgan Wallen concert before he was really big. We paid $20 to see Morgan Wallen and the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. It was definitely one of the coolest concerts that I've been to because of that. You might also be surprised to know that in that Jersey Shore, Central Jersey area, we've got Six Flags. So it's a major amusement park in New Jersey that you can also find some entertainment with. That about wraps it up for the sections of New Jersey. Now I'm gonna kick it over to a map tour inside with a little screen share. We're gonna go over some terrain of New Jersey you can find, the schools and where the best schools are in New Jersey, and then also the cost of living in each section of New Jersey and which one's gonna fit your budget. So let's go back to my office and check out the map. All right, so I made it back to my office. It's a couple days after that original recording. It's actually like in the 30s today instead of that 60-degree day we had, which is, you know, more typical to that November weather. But I want to share a really quick story that I encountered while I was sitting at that bench on the trail. So I think New Jersey gets a bad reputation about having not so nice people, but I couldn't have had a nicer interaction with this woman, Casey, and her dog, Nash. She literally just came up to my bench I was sitting on, asked if she could sit down. She gave her dog some water and a treat. We had a conversation about what it was like living in New Jersey. She was from Basking Ridge specifically, but what her experience was like moving from upstate New York to New Jersey and kind of what her experience has been in the area. So I just want to use that as a prime example that, you know, I was just sitting there recording, minding my own business, and someone came up and just wanted to have a great conversation. So there are plenty of great people in New Jersey. What you see on TV is not always the truth. Now let's hop into the map tour. So I'm going to start off in Google Earth just to give you another macro overview. We've got New York City to the northeast, Philadelphia to the southwest. We've got the further away you get from these cities, we've got more forests and farms. So to the north and to the west, we've got a lot of more farmland and forests. As we move further down to South Jersey, this is the Pine Barrens Forest. And my personal opinion, there's not as much going on in South Jersey as there is in North Jersey, and I think partially because of this, the Pine Barrens Forest kind of engulfs a lot of the area. But we've got the Jersey Shore that also runs along the coast. So that's just kind of a general overview. Now I'm going to hop into some prefabricated maps that I made so you can get a feel for a little bit more for the terrain. You can get a feel for the schools, prices that you're going to pay in these areas. So obviously this is how I broke it down. North Jersey, Central Jersey, South Jersey, and the Jersey Shore. So you can see the northwest section has a lot more higher elevation. So again, it's not the Rocky Mountains, but you might have a house on top of a hill or the bottom of a hill, but there's also plenty of flat land in this section also. So as you go further south, obviously it flattens out, and then the coastline is obviously sea level. Next up, we've got population. So you can really see this heat map of population really is surrounded by the New York City area and the Philadelphia area. And the further west you go and the further south you go in that kind of central area, it's a little bit more remote, and you're going to get more bang for your buck for the most part in those sections. So more house and a little bit less money for those houses. Next up, we've got the rail system. Now, this figure is not drawn to scale. These train lines don't quite come out that far. If you're looking, like, if you're comparing apples to apples, it's not. Really, that train line is going to end kind of around these Warren County eastern border and the Hunterdon County eastern border. But you can see it's more concentrated in this North Jersey section as compared to the South Jersey section. Now we've got a comparison of the top 50 school districts in New Jersey. As you can see, there's plenty of great school districts to choose from. These are all according to niche.com, which I highly recommend my clients check out if having a great school system is important to you. And even if you don't have kids that are going to go to school, living in a town with a good school district is great for resale value of your home. So as you can see, they're really concentrated in this kind of northwest central Jersey section. This is the top 50. As you can see, just comparing it to that population heat map again, where most of the people live is where the majority of the great school districts or the better school districts are. Now, this is just the top 75. So again, they're all pretty much concentrated in this northeast to central Jersey sections. We got a couple outliers when we get to that closer to that 75 range down by the Jersey Shore, but for the most part, they're really concentrated here. But again, you can't go wrong with New Jersey schools for the vast majority, but when it comes to a specific school district, I definitely recommend going to niche.com. Now, you definitely pay more money for train line towns and having great school districts, so it makes sense to see that anything pretty much like central Jersey and above is like $500,000 and above, unless you're in that northwest section where, again, there's just a little bit less going on out there. It's a little bit less convenient. So the median home sale prices in Sussex County and Warren County reflect that. Now, when we go to South Jersey, again, it's definitely more affordable, but in my opinion, there's also less going on. With the exception of that Jersey Shore section, you have some like really great beach houses that are definitely going to jack up that median sale price in those areas. But again, there's also train lines and good school districts. So that's just one more comparison for you. And just to give you a compare and contrast again with those school districts and kind of what you're going to pay in those areas, you're going to be paying more money for a great school district. I hope you found this general overview of New Jersey to be helpful, and just want to recommend subscribing if you did find this helpful and you want to learn more, because in the next 4 videos, I'm going to go deeper into each of the sections that I talked about in today's video in North Jersey, Central Jersey, South Jersey, and the Jersey Shore. And I'm going to continue through this New Jersey Explained series to dive deeper and deeper and give you a more local approach to each of these sections so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when making the move to the Garden State. Just to remind you, I am a realtor in the state of New Jersey, and I would love to be your real estate choice when making the move to New Jersey. So feel free to call, text, or email me at any time, and I'll see you in the next video.